Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Decades Legacy Challenge. We have entered into the year 2014 and we are with our family here in I guess it's the Montez family, but the Haskins are with us as we know, and we also know that Joe's wife Cristina is pregnant and expecting, and we are just going to be waiting for her to have this baby, and once she has this baby we will be moving them out into their own place. So we are just going to go ahead and get started here, and we're going to let them carry on with their lives. So in this episode we are just going to be taking care of the family, making sure everyone is assigned to jobs. I did have a couple of changes in my game in the sense that, as you guys know, I had some problems where I almost lost all of my save files, and so we've had some things that have changed, some careers that have been lost, and so we're going to get everybody signed back up with jobs and make sure that everything is squared away as far as them working, and so we'll get them all set up in their careers, and I will get everything that needs to be taken care of for them. So as you can see, Siobhan is just feeling really, really great. Everyone's feeling pretty happy. They're feeling inspired. We're just going to make sure that we take care of everything that needs to be taken care of here for the family. And I will just be making sure that Cristina is good throughout her pregnancy here and that we have ourselves a healthy baby. She is considering that she wants to go ahead and have her baby at home because she is really not a huge fan of hospitals, and so she's considering the option of having herself a midwife and having her baby at the house. And so as you can see, Siobhan and Joe are just having a little bit of a talk. He's telling her how excited he is about the baby, and she's like, I do not understand you guys at all. As we know, Siobhan is really, yes, she has children of her own, but she's so much like her mother, it's not even funny. So even though she wants to be excited for them about the baby, because Cristina and Joe are over the moon excited about being pregnant and having this baby. They tried for so long to get pregnant, and we're having so many problems with getting pregnant. And so they are just really, really excited about this. And even though she wants to really be excited for them, and she's happy for them, she just doesn't understand, like, their joy. Because to her, she's like, kids are so much of a burden. Like, they're so needy and they're so, like, time consuming. And so she doesn't understand why anyone would want to, like, willingly have a child. It looks like we have a door missing here, so I'm just going to repair all of the things that are missing here in the house and get everyone off to work and school like they need to go. So now that I've got that fixed, we are just heading off everyone to work and school, and as you can see, she is just dealing with her little crying baby there. And everyone is just going to head off and take a look at the snow here. It has decided to start snowing in the game. It is fall and it's a little bit chilly today, and so everyone's come out to take a look at the first snow. They are pretty excited about the fact that it's snowing. And so yeah, Siobhan's just really having a hard time being excited for them. And Cristina doesn't understand how she can be really like that, because Cristina is very, very maternal. She is excited about this baby. She's wanted this baby. She's a very maternal person, whereas Siobhan just really isn't. She really did take after her mother in that realm. So Siobhan's off to work here. We're just going to let her go ahead and head off to work, and it would seem that everyone's kind of getting themselves set up in their careers and things like that. So I am just going to go ahead and get them all set up so that everyone in the family can go ahead and start making themselves a little bit of money. And we are going to have Joe, who is also going to get set up in a career, and I'll set up Cristina in her career. But right now she is just being domestic and taking care of some things around the house and cleaning up and making sure things are taken care of in that realm of things. She wants to make sure everything is ready for when her baby comes, and that the house is all nice and tidy and things are good. She knows that, they're not going to stay here. She realizes that they're going to be moving whenever she does have the baby. Her and Joe have discussed the fact that they're going to be leaving, and so they have been looking for places, and they're not really sure what area they want to move to. They don't think that they're going to be staying in Oasis Springs. All of the houses here in this area, other than, this one, is really kind of outdated, and they're wanting something a little bit more up to date. And so they are thinking they're probably going to be moving out of Oasis Springs and into a different area. And, Joe's kind of saddened about that because this is a neighborhood in an area that he has grown to love and has grown up in his whole life. And so he is kind of sad about that. But as Cristina told him, it's okay to branch out and to try new things. And, we're going to be raising a child. I want to make sure that our neighborhood is safe. I want to make sure that we have good schools that we can provide our child with. And she had a lot of good arguments that Joe couldn't really argue with. And so they have decided that they are going to possibly move into a different community outside Oasis Springs. So it is looking like I am probably going to be moving them into Newcrest. And that is the neighborhood that they're going to move into just because it is a little bit more of a modern home. And so I think that's probably where they're going to go. As you can see, Joe was out in the treehouse, as he so often does go. But he is just coming in. He wants to check in on Cristina, make sure everything's okay with her. And she's just in here chatting. They are just talking about the pregnancy. As we can tell, Dean has really taken a fatherly love for children and things like that lately. And his outlook has really, really changed. And he's really, really grown up a lot. And so we love that he's really invested. And so where Siobhan isn't really excited about their pregnancy and she's not able to really, show that support, Dean, on the flip side, is really able to do that. So I've just sent off Cristina. She's going to go and she's going to find out what they're having because she wants to know what the gender of the baby is. And I'm going to have Dean come out and just have a little bit of a chat with the little one here and just kind of be like, you shouldn't smash things, and just maybe give a little bit of a parental lesson. I kind of want him to do a little bit of parenting here with him, and also we want to just maybe spend a little bit of time with him, give him a little bit of attention, because obviously, maybe he is feeling a little bit like he's not getting any attention and is acting out. So Dean's going to come in. He's going to just spend some one-on-one time with Edward, and hopefully Edward will, kind of enjoy the attention that he's getting from his dad, and it will help with his behavior, because as of right now, he's kind of feeling a little bit upset, and so he is needing a little bit of quality time from his parents. And as we know, Siobhan's off to work, so that leaves Dean. So he's just going to snuggle him a little bit. He did kind of get on to him a little bit about smashing that project, even though that project is really old and it really doesn't mean anything. But he just wants to, teach him good manners and just tell him, like, that didn't belong to you, and it wasn't for you to it just wasn't for you to smash. So the results are in, and it looks like they're going to be having a girl. So we absolutely love that. She is going to come in and she's going to just tell the news to everybody that she can, because she's excited. She loves the fact that they're going to be having a daughter. And so we absolutely are thrilled about the fact that she's gotten this news. And so she's going to come and she's going to just chat with Joe a little bit, and she's going to explain to him that she went off and she got the gender results, and she's going to tell him about the gender of the baby, and she's going to share that information with her husband, because she knows that he's going to be thrilled about that news as well. And so she's just going to have a little bit of a conversation with him. These two are really, really close, and they obviously have a really, really strong relationship, and they have, all of the most high hopes in the world for not only their relationship and the fact that they have a baby coming, but they want the best for their baby and for their relationship. And so they have been really discussing a lot of things about moving and what their life is going to look like in the future. Like, they've been discussing things in the realm of how their parenting styles differ and what they're going to do when those things come up. So they're taking this really, really seriously, and they're discussing all of these matters. And, I think that's really grown up of them. I don't think that very many people do that. I don't think that people sit down and say, okay, well, I parent this way, you parent that way, and what are we going to do when these issues arise? I especially don't think they do that when, they're pregnant. I think those things more come up like when things happen, and then you realize, oh, you have this parenting style and I have this parenting style, and they conflict. But they're trying to kind of head things off before those kind of situations arise, and so they're discussing this, and she's like, I am more of a nurturer. I'm more of a soft parent. I don't want us to discipline our children, harshly. I don't want us to spank our child. I don't want us to, be like that. I want us to calmly talk to our child and explain how we feel to our child, and I think that's the best approach. And he's like, okay. And she's like, how do you feel? And he's like, I guess I never really thought too much about it. I mean, my parents never really spanked us, and I look at Edward streaking through the house. Oh my gosh, this baby, he is something else. He's like, I guess I didn't really think anything about it because I never was really disciplined like that either, and to be completely honest, like, my family was a little bit dysfunctional. And she's like, okay, that's fair. So, Joe doesn't really have a whole lot of input on how he feels about what his parenting style is going to be, because he doesn't really know. Like, Charles was very, very supportive of them and very loving and doting on his children, and Siobhan was just kind of non-existent. And so he doesn't really have much to go on in that sense, and all he has is the, what he kind of learned growing up, and he's like, I don't really see myself kind of being this hard dad that's gonna like do the things that you're talking about, but I guess I won't know until I'm in that situation. And she's like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. And she's like, I just thought maybe we should talk about it. And he's like, we can talk about anything you want every time you want to talk about anything you want. I just can't always give you an answer because I don't always know. So as you can see, everyone is just kind of taking care of their needs. She's getting something to eat, and Joe is going to go ahead and fix some food. It has turned out that Edward is a picky eater, and so even though he got something to eat earlier, he decided that wasn't good enough for him. So Joe's like, I'll make some chicken sliders, and maybe, Edward will like those. And so he's going to whip up some chicken sliders here, and he's hoping that Edward's going to like them and he'll eat them, because Edward's feeling a little bit hungry, but he's really a picky eater, and so he's like just really hard to please. Okay, he's just really hard to please. So Joe's like, I'll do what I can for my nephew, it'll be fine. And Dean's like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to fix something special for him. Like, at the end of the day, he needs to learn how to eat what's before him, or he needs to go hungry. And he's like, no. And Joe's like, that's not happening, not in my house. And he's like, well, it's not your house anymore, it's our house. And Joe's like, no, it's not. It's the family house. And while I still live here, it's still the family house. And Dean's like, very well, but at the end of the day, like, you're about to move out of the family house, and we're going to be living here, so it's our house. And, we kind of outnumber you guys, and he's my child, and if I want him to eat what's before him and he doesn't, and that's the way it is. And Joe's like, I've already whipped it up, maybe he'll eat it. So, Dean and Joe obviously are having some issues when it comes to arguing about what they think is best for Edward. But, Dean is his father, and Joe can't really say a whole lot. But Joe's just like, I am not going to let that baby be hungry. Not on my watch. And so he's like adamant that, he'll cook whatever. And as you can see, Edward is going to go over. He's going to grab himself a little bit of these chicken sliders. And we're hoping that he's going to just absolutely love them, and he'll eat them, and everything will be great. And so that is the hope, that he'll like them and he'll eat them, and he will get his hunger up, because as of right now, he is a little hungry bean. So Christina's just cleaning up. She is, really in a cleaning frenzy. She's been like this for a little bit of time. I don't think she's really nesting right now, but she is definitely a cleaning freak, and so she's definitely cleaning up. She's getting things ready. She is wanting the house to be in tip-top shape for when the baby comes, and it looks like Dean and Edward are going to be jokesters. We absolutely love that for them. So yes, we will go ahead and let them be jokesters, and I will go ahead and approve that for their relationship, because I think that is really adorable. So he did eat those chicken sliders. He absolutely loved that. That's fantastic for us. He got that meal down, and he did not complain about that at all. So it's a good thing that Joe made those because it got him fed, and turns out Joe was right all along. Dean's like, well, I'll be. I know, right? Turns out you were wrong, and we got Edward fed, and bonus. And he's like, okay, well, whatever. Let's go ahead and get you ready for bed. So we are going to go ahead. We're going to go on upstairs. We're going to get him ready for bed. And it looks like Joe has to get himself ready for work because he'll be ready, like getting, ready for work within like the next hour or so. And Siobhan has come on home from work. She's just getting herself cleaned up here. She's having herself a nice little bath, and then she's going to need to get herself off to bed because she's feeling a little bit tired. So Siobhan is just going to take care of some of her needs here. Joe's headed back to the treehouse. You really do need to get yourself ready for work. And he's like, I am so bloody tired. Poor Joe. I feel kind of bad for him. I do. But, he doesn't get good rest. And the reason he doesn't get good rest is because he's constantly sleeping in that bloody treehouse. If he'd actually come in the house and sleep in his bed, he'd probably get better rest. So I'm just going to have Dean come in here. He's going to repair this broken dryer because it is on the fritz. And we will get that all repaired so that they can continue on with washing of the laundry. Because as we know, that is a never-ending cycle that just continues on. And Siobhan is going to go ahead and take care of some of her needs here and then get herself ready for bed as well. It's getting really, really late, and so everyone is needing to go ahead and get a little bit of rest here. So we will go ahead and queue up for them to rest. Almost everybody in the house actually is currently resting, so we love that for them. Yeah, it's, it is what it is. It would seem that they are just, Rebecca's calling. Okay, you can chat with her. So go ahead and chat with Rebecca and, we'll help you out a little bit, I guess, in your social department. Not that you necessarily need that. What you need is to go in there and get yourself a little bit of sleep. But you can chat and then go to bed. And Joe's off to work now. I don't know if that's the best thing because he's exhausted. So by the time he gets home, he's going to be straight up shattered. But, work called and said he had to go in. And so in he went. That is the life of an adult. Sometimes you go in and you're already shattered. And so, he's just doing what he has to do. We have Cristina in here. She's just getting herself a little bit of rest. And everyone's heading off to bed for the night. And I will see you in the morning. So it is the next morning. As you can see, Cristina is feeling really, really angry. She's going through a little bit of a mood swing because of her pregnancy. I'm just going to have her come and do a little bit of cooking so that we can have some food in the house for breakfast. So she's going to go ahead and get in here and make a little bit of food. And we have Siobhan up as well. It looks like Joe is feeling super flirty this morning, or maybe he's feeling playful. I can't really tell, but he's feeling some kind of way. And so we are just going to go ahead and let the ladies get in here, and they're going to be dealing with some of the cooking. And it looks like Siobhan's kind of cleaning up. Siobhan's feeling really, really energized this morning. She woke up feeling great, which we absolutely love. I am always thrilled when Siobhan wakes up in a good mood. Sometimes she is prone to tendencies of not waking up in the greatest of moods. And I don't know if that's because she kind of has feelings like her mother at times, where she just kind of feels a little bit tense when she's around the kids. She loves her children, don't get me wrong. She's not like her mother in the sense that she's wanting to escape her life. Trust me, there are none of those feelings going on at all. But I think sometimes she is a little bit overwhelmed with having two children. She, accepted her pregnancies and is loves her children, but she does find it really difficult being a parent, and parenthood she finds difficult. And so she thinks to herself, like, it's so hard being a mom, and this job is so difficult for her. And she's like, I didn't realize it was going to be this hard. And I think that to her gives her a little bit of perspective on why her mom ran. And she's like, now I understand why mom was like, I can't do this. Whereas before she just thought, there's no reason why mom could leave us, and, you know, how could she have done that? And even though she loves her kids, I think she understands why her mom ran now. And she thinks to herself, like, she ran because it's so difficult. Like, it's so difficult to deal with, like, constantly worrying about your kids, wondering if they're okay, wondering if you're screwing them up. And so, like, she kind of gets it a little bit better now. It doesn't excuse that, and she obviously hates the fact that her mom did leave because, you know, even though she finds her being a mom difficult and she finds that it's hard to raise children, she would never walk out on her kids. She would never leave her kids. Like, she wants to raise her kids. She wants to be there for her kids. She loves her kids unconditionally. And, you know, even though it's tough, like, she wants to rise to that occasion. So that's the difference between Siobhan and her mother. Does she have, you know, feelings sometimes like, oh my God, this is really hard, it's overwhelming, and I just need a break? Yeah. But, like, I think all moms feel that way. I think we all kind of go through lulls where we're like, I'm about to pull my hair out and I just need a minute. But we don't all go, I am going to escape this life and never return. And her mom did do that. And she's like, that's unforgivable. And she would never do that to her children. So does she understand why her mom did it? To an extent, yes. But what she did in Siobhan's eyes is unforgivable. And as we know, Joe obviously is definitely like, what mom did is unforgivable. And being that he is so thrilled that he's having a baby now, you know, he could never, like, he just doesn't get it at all. Like, he's absolutely over the moon that he's having a child. And look how cute Cristina looks pregnant. Like, she is the cutest thing ever. She's getting so big. So she's getting closer to having this baby, which is fantastic. She should be having this baby pretty soon, I would think. Okay, maybe not pretty soon, but, like, she's getting bigger, and we love that. And so she's having a conversation here with Siobhan, and they're just talking about it, and Siobhan's like, how's the pregnancy going? And Cristina's like, it's going good. Like, I haven't really been sick all that much, and I'm feeling really great. And she's like, that's good. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I can't believe that, you know, I am going to be having this baby soon. Like, I'm just shocked. She's like, I'm really glad that, you know, you've allowed me to stay here and, you know, you're going to let me have the baby here. And she's like, you know, we're not going to be here for much longer after we have the baby. We don't really want to be in you guys' hair. And this house really isn't big enough for 2 families. She's like, but I really am glad that you're going to let me be here and you're going to let me, you know, stay here long enough to have the baby. And Siobhan's like, of course I would do that. Why would I not do that? And she's like, I don't know. I just, you know, I know you're not big on kids. And she's like, it's not that I'm not big on kids. It's just there are a lot of work and a lot of stress and a lot. There's just a lot. She's like, I love my children. Don't get me wrong. Christina's like, okay. And she's like, I just think that, like, I don't know, you have to really be prepared for kids. She's like, and I wasn't. She's like, and I just find that it's really difficult some days. And Christina's like, I can understand that. And she's like, but I've always wanted kids. She's like, and this is just like making my dreams come true. So these two are really starting to bond. They're really starting to build a relationship and become really close. And I think Siobhan is really starting to get an understanding of who Cristina is and vice versa. And they're starting to really build a relationship, which is good. I want Siobhan and Cristina to be able to be close because, as we know, Joe and Siobhan are twins, and they are very, very close. And so it would only be natural that Siobhan would want to be close to his wife, and they would want to be able to get along because obviously she wants to be supportive of her brother and his wife. And so it makes perfect sense that she would want to be able to get along with the person that he's going to spend his life with and that he's in love with. And who else better than the mother of his child? And so she's like, I want to, you know, be close to her. I want to be able to be supportive and to, you know, share in their joys and their and all of these things with them. So Siobhan's trying really, really hard to be there and be supportive and really build a friendship with Cristina. And I you know, absolutely commend her for that because I think that, you know, in the beginning, she was kind of rude with Cristina and she was kind of like, why does she want a kid and why would she do that to herself? And she was kind of coming off a little bit rude. And Cristina was like, wow, like, why would she be like that with me? And she wasn't trying to be, she just couldn't understand like why they would put themselves through that. And she was kind of in her own head a little bit, and she was displacing her own feelings onto others. And it wasn't even about Joe and Christina.
Hey,
And it hurt Christina's feelings, and it kind of made it hard for them to be able to have a friendship. And now she's like, look, I'm putting aside my own shit, and I want to have a relationship with you. I want to have a friendship with you because like you're important to my brother, therefore you're important to me. So as you can see, they're just having a little bit of a conversation here. Christina and Joe, they're talking about the baby, and they've now gained a close family dynamic, which I absolutely love. I knew that they were close. They're best friends, her and her husband, and so they're really, really close. She's asked him if he would accompany her to her childbirth, and he's like, of course I'm gonna do that. She's like, I just want to make sure you're gonna be there. And he's like, well, yeah. And she's like, well, I have decided that I want to have the baby at home. And he's like, are you sure that's wise? And she's like, you know, I'm scared of hospitals. And he's like, I do know that, but like, what if something happens? And she's like, everything's gonna be fine. I'm gonna have a midwife here, and if anything bad happens, then, you know, she'll rush me off to the hospital, but I really think everything's gonna be fine. This pregnancy's gone great so far, and I don't think there's gonna be any problems with the labor, and I just want to be able to have this baby in the comfort of my own home. And he's like, fine. You do things your way. So she has decided to go ahead and give birth to the baby at the house. That way she can be comfortable, and she doesn't have to be tense and stressed out and more anxious, and she can just relax and take things at her own pace, and she just thinks that that's going to be great. And as you can see, her and Siobhan have gotten a sentiment together, which is fantastic. They've gotten closer as well, and I'm loving that. We're going to go ahead and send Cristina off to the washroom, and also she wants to go and chat with Edward, it looks like. So she's going to go and deal with Edward a little bit. It looks like Edward is kind of needing someone to take care of him a little bit and, you know, give him a little bit of a bath. So she's decided she's going to be the one that's going to do that. So she's going to take care of Edward a little bit here. Is she giving him a bath? No, what is she doing with him? I don't know. But anyway, she's decided she's going to take care of Edward. She's like, I'll take care of you. Everybody else has headed off to work. So it's just her and Joe here at the house. Oh, she's changing his diaper. Either way, he's getting changed. So she's changing his diaper. She's just taking care of him here. And she's like, I, you know, absolutely love my nephews, and I will do anything I can to take care of them. And to her, it's just, you know, comes natural, and it's practice, really. So she loves it. She loves bonding with them, and it doesn't bother her at all. As you can see, she's feeling really inspired. She's feeling really great. She does need to pee really bad, though, so I really do think you need to get yourself to the washroom before you have yourself a little bit of an accident. Okay, you should really do that. So I'm gonna have her go ahead, and she is going to go on to the washroom now. Joe, I have no idea where he's at. But if I had to wager to guess, oh, he's not in the tree house. He's down here on the computer. Okay. Well, we love that for him. So she's going to head herself off to the washroom now, and then she's going to go ahead and we'll have her call and book the midwife, because she does need to make sure that she does that. If she doesn't call and book the midwife, then, you know, she's going to be in some serious trouble when she goes into labor, and they're going to expect her at the hospital. And she's like, I definitely don't want to be doing that, because she has a serious fear of hospitals. I'm not exactly sure what caused that fear, but she definitely has that fear. And she's just like, I definitely don't want to be caught in the hospital having anxiety over this, you know, needing to have a baby there, and, you know, it's not necessary. So she's just dealing with little Edward here, and then I'm going to have her go ahead and change the food for the animals, well, for the cat. And she'll give the cat a little bit more fresh food, and we love that. So she's just, you know, being domestic, and she loves that. She loves taking care of everyone and being nurturing, because that's really who she is. She's a really, really caring person, and she likes to take care of others, and so we love that for Cristina. Look how cute she is, though. Honestly, I just can't even get over it. Joe, what are you up to? Joe's like, I am going to have to help with Edward, because she has to head into work. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to send her off to work now. And so she's headed off to work, and now Joe's on baby duty. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and go to the tree house. All right. Well, what about Edward? Don't you need to take care of Edward? He's like, Edward's fine. Edward's not fine. Edward is alone in the house, and you're out here hanging out in the tree house. And he's sad because he's been left alone. Oh, the poor baby. What's wrong with him? He's just like, why has everyone left me? Oh, I hate that. Okay, why don't we go ahead and we'll pull out these, this food, and you can go ahead and grab yourself a little bit of food here because you're feeling a little bit hungry. And then I remember you are a picky eater, and you're probably not going to like that, what I pulled out for you. So you're probably not going to eat it, which is not at all ideal. But we'll try and see if he'll eat that. And if he won't eat it, we'll try something else. But hopefully he'll eat what I pulled out for him. So Joe's getting himself some much needed rest. I made him come in to the house at least, and so he's in the bed sleeping. At least then he is close to Edward. In the event that Edward needs him, which it would seem Edward does. Edward's feeling really sad. He doesn't like being alone. Edward is in need of a lot of attention. He's refusing to eat this. Okay, so if you're not going to eat this, then I am going to get you to eat something else. Look at him look at it like, what have you fed me? This is ridiculous. I am not eating this. It's just like deviled eggs. I don't know why I pulled that out. I just thought maybe you'd eat whatever. I forgot you were a picky eater. Maybe we can pull out those chicken sliders again and he'll eat those because he did like those. So maybe we'll pull those out and we'll let him eat that because he is like really, really hungry. So yeah, so we're going to have to pull those out, I think, because he's refusing to eat these deviled eggs. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. He's just like, I'm not eating these eggs. It's not happening. You can't make me do it. Okay, so we'll pull the chicken sliders out and we'll have him eat those. So we'll have him grab a serving of the chicken sliders, and I think he'll be happy to eat those because he liked them like a whole lot the first time around. Look at him. He's like, oh yeah, this is the stuff. We love that. Okay, so he's happy about that. Joe, though, is going to need to give this baby a bath because he's feeling really grungy. So come and give Edward a bath. He's like, I just want some sleep. I realize that, Joe, but you're the only adult in the house. The only adult. Like, really? What do you expect? He's like, I expect to get some sleep. All right, so he is going to go ahead. He's going to give Edward a little bit of a bath because Edward's green. And we will take care of him and get him all washed up. I'm just going to throw those eggs out because he's clearly not going to eat those. And so there's no sense in even keeping them. Plus, it looked like maybe they had gone off anyway. So I'm just going to let Joe give Edward a little bit of a wash here. And it looks like Mateo is up there playing video games, which is fantastic. So he's just getting a little bit of fun in. And maybe he should probably be doing some homework, but we'll let him get a little bit of fun in. He did probably have a long day at school, and then once he's done with his video gaming, he's probably going to want to take a little bit of a rest because he's had a long day at school. And when all of the adults start piling in from work, we will check in and see how everyone's doing as far as Cristina, and check and see how she's doing on her pregnancy, and if she's getting closer to going into labor, because I do think it's probably getting close to time for that to be taking place, which is going to be really, really exciting. And I still don't think that she has called and set up the midwife, so we'll have her do that as well. And then Joe's going to go ahead and get himself ready for work. Oh, and Siobhan got promoted to caterer. We love that. So she's getting promotions at work, which is fantastic. So the only one that's still at work right now is Cristina. So we are just going to go ahead and let everyone take care of themselves here. Looks like Dean came home and grabbed himself a plate of food. And now his needs are in fantastic shape. And let's just take a look at Siobhan and make sure she's okay. I think he is going to go ahead and approach her because she is needing some fun in her life. So he's just going to be like, look, I have the best plan in the world. You and I haven't been intimate in a while anyway, so why don't we go ahead and have some adult time together? And she's like, okay, we can do that. And he's like, it'll help you have a little bit of fun. And, you know, like I said, we haven't been intimate in a while. So those two are going to have themselves a quick woohoo. And we're going to have this little guy come and have a little bit more of these chicken sliders because he's feeling hungry again. And honestly, I know it's like really ridiculous that I'm making him eat chicken sliders over and over and over again. But he's a picky eater, and I can't figure out anything else that he likes to eat. So it's kind of like that, though. You know how toddlers are when they're like only want to eat one thing, like chicken nuggets, and they'll only eat chicken nuggets, and that's the only meal that they'll eat at all, ever. That's kind of what he's like. He only wants chicken sliders, and it's all he'll eat. So that's all he's getting fed, which is probably not healthy, but he's picky, and so it is what it is. So Joe and Siobhan are going ahead and having themselves a little bit of food here. It looks like Cristina has just returned from work, which is fantastic. We love that. She is feeling really, really tired after her day at work. And she is like, I've got to get me a little bit of food, and then I've got to get me to bed because I'm exhausted. Okay, cake. You decided for cake? She's like, I'm pregnant, don't judge me. Okay, fine. So she's going to have herself a little bit of cake here, and then everyone's going to head off to bed. It is time for them to get themselves a little bit of sleep. It's getting pretty late. It's almost like midnight, I believe. So we do need to get themselves, like, everybody off into bed for the evening. And we are getting really close to 2015 as well. And typically in 2015, I would go ahead and end this episode. But I think I'm going to go ahead and continue on just because I want us to actually be able to see the baby in this episode. So we're going to continue on up until we actually have Cristina have her baby. And then we will move them into their own place. And then I'll end the episode. But Joe's headed off to work, and everyone else is going to go ahead and get themselves ready to go to bed. He has the strangest work hours, Joe does. But I think it's just because he's in like the musician field. And so, yeah, I think that's why. So Siobhan's just having a little bit of a chat with Mateo here. She's asking him how his day was because she hasn't really had a chance to talk to him. And he's like, yeah, my day was fine, Mom. And she's like, okay. And he's like, I do really, need to get myself off to bed, though. It's kind of getting late. And she's like, yeah, everybody really needs to get themselves off to bed. And so everyone's going to get themselves a little bit of shut-eye, and I'll see you in the morning. So it is the next morning here. And as you can see, we have ourselves another mood swing. She is really, really tense. She's really angry. She's having herself another slice of cake. She's really got herself a sweet tooth here with this pregnancy. And look at her laugh. That cake made her playful. We love that. So she's just going to go ahead and she's going to eat this. And everyone's going to deal with their needs here a little bit. We are going to give the midwife a call. We're going to set up our home birth because we do need to go ahead and do that. So we will have her go ahead and set that up. We are going to have Joe come and just talk with her a little bit about the fact that they're going to definitely have this home birth. He's like, are you positive this is what you want to do? And she's like, absolutely, that's what I want. And he's like, I'm just really concerned about the fact that something might happen. And she's like, if something happens, they're prepared for that. And there are contingencies in place in the event that something bad were to happen. And she's like, they'll have a route for me to the hospital in the event of an emergency or something like that. She's like, but the pregnancy's on really smoothly. I really don't see any need for you to worry at all. And he's like, okay, if you're sure this is the route you want to take and you don't think that there's going to be anything to worry about, then, that's fine. Siobhan's just going to go ahead and get some cleaning done. As you can see, she's kind of broken out in a bit of a rash here. So she's clearly dealing with a little bit of an illness, which is definitely not ideal. She's clearly having some type of an allergic reaction to something. So we are just going to go ahead and give that midwife a phone call, get that all set up, which is going to be fantastic. It is Halloween and 2015 today, and so we absolutely love that. And we have now gone into a new year. I can't believe it's already 2015. Like, that is amazing to me that we have already gone into 2015. It is Halloween. I don't know that we will actually be celebrating Halloween. I seriously doubt we're going to do any trick-or-treating or anything like that. The only thing that I'm really, planning to do is focusing on Cristina having her baby. We're just setting up her home birth right now. We've already got that all set up, and she is just rubbing her belly here, and really she's excited about the fact that she knows it's getting really close, that she's going to be going into labor. She really doesn't have that much longer to go. She's just come out and she's told Joe that she's called her doctor or the midwife, and that she's got that all set up, and he's like, okay, and she's like, I just wanted to let you know. So she's just checking the mail and getting the junk mail, and she's found some coupons, which is fantastic, and she's just gone into labor. So we have officially gone into labor. We're going to go ahead and start our home birth, and we will invite over our midwife and make sure that our midwife is here so that we can have our midwife available for us, so that when we are needing to be checked and needing the baby to be checked, that someone is here that is experienced and can be able to do that. So we are going to go ahead and call the midwife over, and that way the midwife is here for us, and she's just going to go ahead and do a little bit of a walk around. This walk around basically is a bit of exercise to go ahead and help her get dilated. So she's just walking around her house, and it's helping her to exercise and get the baby ready to come, which is fantastic. So she's just basically taking her time exercising here, hoping that it's going to help her get dilated, and then she's going to call the midwife and say, I've officially gone into labor, and I need you to come around. I need you, I really do. As you can see, Joe has just officially figured out that she's in labor, and now he's freaking out, and he's like, how are you handling this? And she's like, I'm handling it fine, but I could really use your help, because like I'm in a lot of pain, and this is going to be a long journey. So they're swaying back and forth together here. He's rubbing her back, and he's like, everything's going to be okay. Just, remain calm and remember to breathe. And she's like, yeah, I understand. I know the drill. He's like, just remember the classes that you went to and how they taught you that you need to breathe, and everything's going to be okay. Just as long as you remain calm, everything should be fine. And she's like, I know. And so he's just loving on her, and they are spending some time swaying back and forth here, and he's hoping that that's going to help her. All right, so they are just continuing their swaying back and forth. She's feeling really, really uncomfortable right now, obviously, because she's in labor. And so we are hoping that the midwife is going to make it soon. I do believe that she's on her way. There she is. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to go out, and we're going to meet the midwife, and we're going to ask her to go ahead and check us for our dilation and check on the baby and make sure everything's okay with both of those things, and see how far along that we are as far as in this portion of us being dilated, so that we can see how much progress we've made so far and how close we are to having the baby. So she's like, hey, can you just go ahead and check me? And the midwife is like, of course I can. So they're going to go ahead. They're going to go on inside here, and we're going to have her check Cristina here and just make sure everything's okay. So she's just going to have her sit on the bed here, and then she's going to check her for her dilation, and we're going to see how far along as far as her dilation is. And so it looks like currently right now she is about 3 centimeters dilated, and so she's like, you've got a little ways to go still. And Christina's like, okay. So she is having a bit of pain, and she's like, everything's going to be okay. She's checking on the baby currently, and she's like, the baby's okay. Just keep your breathing up, and everything's going to be fine. You just, need to remain calm. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to have her get on this ball. We're going to have her exercise a bit, and hopefully that is going to help with this as far as getting her dilation up as well. So we just have her exercising here a couple of times, and then I'm going to have her go and grab herself a bite to eat, because she is starting to get a little bit hungry. It looks like once again Cristina has opted that she wants to go and have cake. When I clicked for her to go eat, she's like, decided that she wants to grab cake to eat. So we're gonna have her eat something and then go to the washroom, and then maybe we'll have her even take herself a little bit of a nap, because she's starting to get a little bit tired here. The one good thing about her being able to be at home and have this pregnancy, or this labor, I guess, is that she can, relax. She can rest when she needs to rest. She's able to eat home cooked foods. It's just a little bit better for her to be more comfortable. So she's going to eat something, and then she's going to have the doctor go ahead and check her again, since she did exercise a couple of times on that ball. And then we'll have her go to the washroom and go and have herself a little bit of a nap. So they're going to go over here to the couch, and we are going to have her check her dilation again, and we'll see how far along we are. And so the midwife is going to go ahead and check Cristina again and just see how far she's induced her labor now, as far as since she's exercised. And it looks like we are currently at 5 centimeters, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. So she's going to go to the washroom, and then we'll go and we will have ourselves a little bit of a nap. And then once she's taken herself a nap, we'll have Joe come and give her a little bit of a back rub on the exercise ball, and then she can do a little bit of exercising. Oh, she's decided to do a breathing exercise, not take a nap. I really kind of wanted her to take a nap. But she's like, nope, I'm going to do a breathing exercise because honestly, I could stand for a nap, but I really just want to have this baby. She's like, will you rub my back, honey? And he's like, okay, I can do that. And she's like, okay, because I'm having some lower back pain. So he's going to go ahead and just give her a little bit of a back massage here and try to help her out with her back pain that she's having because she's having some back labor. So he's just giving her a little bit of massage, and he's like, you know, you're doing great, honey. You really are. And she's like, I appreciate that. And he's like, this will be over before you know it. And she's like, okay, I hope you're right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let her do another little bit of an exercise here. And I queued up for her to get a little bit of rest. And she's like, coffee. I'll have some coffee. I'd rather you not. I'd rather you like actually get some rest. So I'm going to have her do a little bit of a sleep here. And then once she's done sleeping, we can go ahead and have the midwife check her again. And then she can find out how far along she's dilated. I am really hoping that she is making some good progress here as far as she's done a couple more exercises, and so I'm hoping that that has made some good progress for her. So let's go ahead and we will get her up from her sleeping slumber, and we'll have her come on in here and we will have her talk to the midwife and get her to check her dilation again. So they're once again going to go to the couch here and they're going to check her dilation. And it looks like she is currently at 9 centimeters. Okay, so we are almost there. We are almost there. We just need a little bit longer. I'm going to have her go on in here and she is going to eat a piece of cake, and then we'll have her do a little bit more exercising. We are so close to the finish line. And so she's like, I can almost taste it. It's almost there. This baby's almost here. And so she knows that it's about time for her to see her baby, and she's really, really excited about that. So we're just going to have her finish eating here, and then she's going to go and exercise on that ball, and then we should be able to go ahead and have the baby. Delightfully deceptive, so Siobhan is. Okay, great. So we're going to have her exercise this one last time, and then we should be able to have the baby. And we'll have the baby with Joe, obviously, which is going to be really exciting. I can't wait for them to go ahead and have their baby together. So it does look like she is fully dilated and able to have her baby now. So we are just going to go ahead and have our baby. Oh, she's like, I've got to pee. All right, why don't you go ahead and have your baby with Joe? Go on in here and have your baby. All right, Joe. It's time for you guys to have this baby. Joe's like, all right, I'm coming. Okay, so these two are about to go ahead and give birth to the baby. We absolutely love that. It's going to be super great. All right, so she's going to go ahead and get into position here, and we're going to go ahead and give birth to this little one. And she is going to go ahead and push. As you can see, she's in quite a bit of pain. She is like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was going to be this hard. And he's like, it's okay, honey, you've got this. And she's like, do I? And he's like, you do. You're right at the finish line. You just have to push. You've got this. You've got this. I love you so much. And she's like, I love you too, Joe. And he's like, come on, you can do this. Let's have this baby. And she's like, okay. She's like, I need your help. And he's like, all right, honey. So she's going to lean on him for support, and they're going to go ahead and give birth to their little one here. And as you can see, we are giving birth to our little one. And she's pushing. And it's a girl. And we are going to name this baby Caitlin.
Oh, dag.
And they are so precious, this little family together. Just going to take some photos of them together here. And as you can see, they are super precious together. He is in awe of the hard work that Cristina has done giving birth to their little girl. And he is just like, you are amazing. I can't believe that you have done this. Like, everything went perfectly just like you said it would. And she's like, oh, Joe, I'm so happy. Look at our daughter. And they are super happy together. But guys, I am going to go ahead and we are going to split them off into their own home. We are going to get them set up in their own place. And I am going to then go ahead and leave this episode off here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of our Decades Legacy Challenge. And until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.